Hey Model Maniacs, Derek here, getting ready to do that all-important kit review so that you, the model junkie, can make an informed decision on what kits you want to buy. Today we're going to look at the Monogram Models Pro Stock Thunderbird as driven by Bob Glidden. This is the 1986 711 car. This is cool looking. Very, very cool. Now, in general, Bob Glidden was a great driver and I like all the different cars, but this is my favorite. The red and white Thunderbird motorcraft car is also really cool, but I have a thing for these red, white, and blue 711 cars. They are fantastic looking to me. And the Thunderbird body here, this has got to be the best racing version of the Thunderbird there is. Even their NASCARs, like the Bill Elliott car back in the, well, way back when, just were cool looking beasts of a car. This is cool. So what do we have here? We got your standard Monogram box, just like anything else. They're all pretty standard. We've got, as you can see here, we got Bob Glidden Chief Auto Parts. We got the Pro Stock Thunderbird 711 logo. Over here, we got a picture of the car, really more of a painting of the car, tearing it up down the drag strip. Down here in the corner we got a picture of what looks to be Bob and his family. The Monogram logo here. Good stuff. We knock this over. We're going to go to this side first. You got a side profile of the car with a little bit of history talking about the car. 1,000 horsepower 429 Boss motor. God, this kicks ass. This is so cool. The different languages that the instructions are in, which I could really care less as long as I could read it. The sides got a picture of the Boss, the Thunderbird, just like the front. Same with this side, very repetitive, nothing new there. And then on this side, we've got some actual still photos of the model itself. Okay, zoom in here, you'll get a good look at the chassis. All that black, which is kind of boring, but if that's the way it was, that's the way it was. I'm gonna have to look up online when it comes time to build this to see what it really looked like, if I can still find those kind of photos. In the past, I've tried to find some of the older cars like this and have drawn a blank on it. But anyway, that's the chassis. You got a little picture of the engine bay here with that 429 Boss crammed in there. So cool. We got a profile of the car that is sweet. I mean, that is just, I can almost rub one out on it. It's just so freaking cool. And then we got it from the back end. Yep, dig that ass, man. That's pure monstrous horsepower buttocks right there. Just, oh, can you imagine? That's what the competition saw all the time as it went down the track. Just the back of this thing. Very, very cool. There's nothing on the bottom. It's just a blank box, but that's the way they did it in the old days, right? When I was a kid, they didn't put markings on the bottom of the boxes. So, this, I'm not sure what scale this is off the top of my head, but it is a 1/24th scale kit, not the more readily available 125 kit. Doesn't really matter to me because it's going to look boss and bitchin' as it is. Let's take a look and see what's inside this kit. Now, oh, this kit, as far as I can tell, reaches all the way back from 1984. Yeah, 1984. This is when this came out. So this one's been around and kicking for quite some time now. So let's take a look and see what's inside the box. Okay, so here we are. We got the box. We're all ready to go. This one, compared to some of the other reviews I've been doing recently, comes opened and no bags. Nothing is bagged in this kit. Was it before I got it? I don't know. I bought it as an open kit, so I'm not sure. But it's just a big honking box full of plastic. What we have in here is 4 sprues of white plastic, okay, which we'll go through. We've got 1 chrome plastic. We've got 1 rubber tree for the tires, and then we've got 1 clear tree. All in all, we've got about 90 parts here to build this car. Now, by today's standards, that's probably pretty skimpy compared to what the newer cars of today, or kits of this type of car come with today, but still, this is just really cool to me. The subject is just really badass, so I'm looking forward to it. I don't care if there's street parts. I want to build this kit. So let's take a look, okay? First, we'll start off with the plastic sprue. I'll move this stuff out of the way for you so you can get a better view, okay, as well as you can get with a plastic sprue, clear plastic. Okay, as you can see here, this didn't come in a bag. I'll have to bag this up for its own protection, although all these years it didn't really get too hammered, so what's another couple of years in a bag for me gonna hurt, right? But anyway, we've got our side windows here and here, okay, completely enclosing the cabin. You've got your 4 headlights lenses here. You've got the rear window, the front window, the other side window, we said that, and we've got clear taillight lenses, okay? So that is the clear sprue. Nothing special, nothing spectacular there, but we're going to, like I said, put this in a bag and try to preserve it as best we can. Up next, we got, oh, how can you miss this? This is a big old honking piece of chassis, right? So we've got our tubbed chassis, okay? Looking pretty sharp. We've got part of the suspension on it here. The bottom side is pretty minimalistic. There's not a lot here. I don't know what the underside of these cars look like. I did have a chance to work on a car very similar to this when I was a youth, or a ute, depending if you're from the South. It was the Danny Iaconio car. I got to work on that car when I was just in high school, and really what that meant is I got to push it around and I got to hand screwdrivers and undo some cam locks, but still it was pretty frickin' bitchin'. So but I never got under the car, so I don't know what it's like underneath, but you know what, close enough for a model this size. The other parts we have here, we've got 2 batteries here and here, okay, not too bad. We've got the seat detailed in the detailed the way it's detailed. We've got some suspension parts here, probably the front coil springs and such. We've got the headers, which come in multiple pieces, 2 parts per header, and we've got the wheel backs, 2 of the wheel backs here. Okay. Next, we got our rubber parts, the tires. Now we got these really big slicks for the back. All right. They've got the Goodyear logo on them. You can see that there in the glare. All right. And these are the 2-part tires. Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, these shouldn't be that bad. The way these go together, these seem to work a lot better. See, they go together like so, whereas opposed to stuff like the 2 parts that I had come across in Tom Daniel's kit, you actually have to put 2 mating surfaces, let's just say, kind of like doing this and trying to get them to stick, and that doesn't work well, at least not for me. But when you go to put them inside like that, that works better, and you can hide the seam by putting this side of the tire on the inside, so that's really not horrible. You've got 1 of 2 of the front tires, the other one's loose in a box. You can see the tread there. It's got some writing on the front of the tire, okay, Goodyear. So that's the rubber parts. Our chrome sprue, as you can see, there's some parts missing here and such. They just fell off. Again, this kit's been kicking around for quite some time, so parts have broken off. Who knows how many people have owned this kit before it came to my possession. But you got, I believe these are center lines, right? You got your center line wheels. They look pretty nice. The chrome on this isn't over the top shiny. I mean, the chrome here is actually to a point where I'd question if I'm going to strip it and re-chrome it like I usually do, because I think it's actually at a decent level. Again, it's not over the top, at least in my opinion. We've got our heads for the Boss 429 motor. I always thought those were the coolest thing in the world, the way they were shaped. Okay, you've got that cool grill. We've got dual carbs here. Okay, a couple parts here, don't know what they are, doesn't matter at this point. We'll figure it out along the way. I believe these here are part of the spoiler for the back of the car. We've got, I believe, a gear linkage, I'm not positive, with the shifters. Here, gear linkage, shifters. Rings for the tires, the rims. A stick, not sure what that's for either. And we've got where are we? One of two of the headlights. This is where the lenses go into. Okay. Again, the other piece here is in the box. Fell off. Next up, we got scoop parts. Yes, we do. We've got the bottom of the scoop, okay, where your carburetor is going to poke through. We got the top of the scoop here, okay, and then we've got the sides of the scoop. So it's going to be this, then this, and then this. So 3 components make up the scoop. And you can see the braces there on the inside, okay. We've got a big whopping rear end here on the back side. And then we start to build up, I believe, some suspension parts, or possibly actually the parts of the roll cage here, okay. They don't look bad. There's not a lot of seam work. I mean, the seam work on these, I always get afraid of these. The seam work is so obvious and it takes a lot of tedious work to round them out, but it doesn't look too shabby. I mean, you're gonna have to do some work to it, but it's not that bad. We got the lower front valance panel here, and then we've got the hood itself, okay, as you can see here. And also molded into the hood, if you can make it out in the light there, you've got cam locks all the way up and down and across here, all the way up and down across the back, and down the front again, or down the side, and then across the front. There's a lot of cam locks to take the hood off. Next part, we've got the motor. Okay, this is the beefy part. We've got our halves of the Boss 429 motor here. You've got those big massive heads here and here. You've got the top of the engine. Again, the blower piece is gonna, or whatever it is gonna actually sit in here. You've got your radiator, parachute, pedals, fan. Okay, this is the front of the motor here. Okay, some sort of linkage or something. The fan shroud, the steering wheel, one big ass hunking drive shaft. I believe this is the fuel cell right here. And then we got some coils here, probably some piping for fuel or something like that here, and some parts that looks like a fan belt here and another electronic box. I can't make out what that is. This one is mostly going to be roll cage parts. Okay, you can see all those pieces there. We've got the front end of the pumpkin right here. Okay, again, all these parts are probably, oh boo, all these parts will make up the frameworks and everything for the chassis. More framework here. We've got the back of our Thunderbird here. We've probably got the firewall here, I'm assuming. Some other bits and bob pieces, the loose stuff, the fourth rim, the fourth tire, they're all in here. And then we come to, and that's really it. Like I said, there's only about 90 parts in here. The last part I really want to show you is the body. This is a really sharp looking body. I love this body. Nice and smooth. You got some cam locks down here on the bottom by my thumb. Okay, cam locks across the back. Smooth. You got a little bit of seam lines here down the pillars. Okay, a little bit down the front pillars too. But it's nice and smooth across the fenders. Across the back here. All very nice. This should clean up very nice, and it's going to look great. Stunning, spectacular. Lastly, or not lastly, next to last, we've got our instruction kit. Now, compared to what we've seen in today's kits, the books from Revell and the color ones from Mobius and stuff like that, this is very, very simple. Again, we got the history of the car here, instructions in all the different languages here, different color callouts are going to be across the bottom here, and then we start our instructions. Little panels here, and we work our way through all of these different steps. Okay, and in the end we're going to end at step 35 right here. Okay, and then we have other cars of the same line listed here. Another Thunderbird, 2 Camaros, and then down here is the decal placement. Okay, so it shows you how to do your decals. Very, very simple. Lastly, the part that scares me the most, because this is the part that really makes this car for me, is the decals. Here's our decal sheet. Now, it's a little old. It was sandwiched in the instructions, so it's kind of protected, but there's a little bit of yellowing here. When the time comes, we'll take this, we'll throw it into the window, let the sun hit it for a while, try to wash out some of the yellowing. We'll hit it with some decal bonder after that and let that dry really well, and then we'll go to town when it comes time to build to put it all together. Hopefully it doesn't screw us up. Actually, another thing I should probably do is probably scan a copy of this just in case. But those are decals, and while they don't look like much here, they really, when placed on the car with the paint, really makes it stand out pretty cool. So that is our Thunderbird. A very, very cool kit. Again, it's old, so to compare this to the kits of today is a little difficult to do, but I'm hoping in the end it holds up, because again, this is a very cool subject. I think with this gives me at least three that I could think of the 711 series cars. The Mustang GTO series, which was an 86 Mustang. I've got the Mustang GTP car, and then this one. I'm not sure if there's any others in the series, but I think when they're all done, they're going to look really sharp together. So anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this will help you make an informed decision should you come across this kit on eBay or at a show and you see the price, and hopefully it will be worth your while to you, or at least you'll have an idea. I got this for about $35 shipped, so that's a pretty decent deal. There are some out there, they're not really going too high, but they are higher than this that I paid. So again, $35 shipped was very, very reasonable for me. I thought that was cool, but then again, as you could tell by the enthusiasm in my voice, that I dig this car. This is the cat's ass. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and till next time, guys, be strong.